Not much sleep last night, lots of pain. But still, there's medicine, there's friends and company.
Therese McLean was once a healthy advocate, campaigning for the terminally ill to have the right to die on their own terms. But in recent months, her crusade has taken an unexpected turn.
In January this year, my life started to end.
The 63-year-old was told she had aggressive metastatic breast cancer, and the prognosis from doctors was bleak. She underwent a double mastectomy and is now in the midst of gruelling chemotherapy.
To go in January from just having been tired and wondering why I was unwell, to being a person who can't even manage some of my own hygiene.
She's holding out hope for remission, but wants the option of voluntary assisted dying should that hope fade.
I would definitely speak, if it was legal, with my practitioner about would you assist me to go when my oncologists, both chemo and radiation, say you've done your best, but there is no hope. I would want to go before I am in nappies and before someone else is cleaning up my excretions as part of their daily love for me.
Mr Speaker, I present...
Long a contentious issue, voluntary assisted dying is illegal in Queensland. Last week, the Premier tabled legislation setting the stage for a landmark debate and vote in September.
I say to everyone across Queensland, we have listened and today we act.
It's been met with fierce opposition from some corners. GP Katrina Neal says she knows about suffering. She's lost 3 brothers to cancer, and her son, who had a disability and schizophrenia, passed away at 24.
For Andrew, I did have those fleeting thoughts that how can I help him? What's there left for him in life? But I never enacted them.
The deeply Christian woman is adamant she doesn't want to see voluntary assisted dying made law in Queensland.
There's so much more chance for abuse in the system. We've been functioning very well without it in most circumstances.
Under the proposed laws, the criteria is strict. To be eligible, a person must be over 18, in intolerable pain from a disease or illness that's expected to kill them within 12 months, be acting voluntarily, have full decision-making capacity at all stages, and fulfil a residency requirement. Now, they'd have to be separately and independently assessed by 2 doctors and make 3 different requests along the way, with at least 9 days between the first and the last request. There'd also be a review board. Now, if it passes, Queensland would become the 4th state to do so, with the issue also currently before South Australia's Parliament. There's a key difference here, though, that could affect church-operated aged care homes.
In Victoria, Western Australia and Tasmania, the law allows for individuals to exercise a conscientious objection to say, I don't want to be part of voluntary assisted dying, and the Queensland Bill does this as well. But what's novel in the Queensland Bill is it also addresses the situation where institutions would object to voluntary assisted dying in their facility.
Professor Ben White says it's a balancing exercise.
Where it is their home, the bill would require institutions to allow access to other medical practitioners to assess patients and ultimately provide voluntary assisted dying. The institution themselves wouldn't have to be involved, their staff wouldn't have to be involved, but it would require allowing access to other medical practitioners.
The Uniting Church has concerns.
We'd like some tighter regulations about what's our rights in those spaces, because sometimes in our aged care facilities, of course, a person may even be sharing a room with another person, and what happens to that other person if that's not their values?
But he says if the law does pass, they would not turn their back on any resident who did want to access it.
And we would not abandon anyone, no matter what their choices were in that space.
Some critics of voluntary assisted dying argue a better funded palliative care system would get rid of the need for such laws. But advocates say it doesn't have to be one or the other. And this is where the contentious issue will be determined. MPs from both major parties will be given a rare conscience vote, meaning they can vote according to their personal beliefs rather than towing the party line.
I know the decision to resign is...
One MP who won't be there for the debate is Duncan Pegg, who's retiring from politics to focus on his battle with cancer.
Before making a decision, I encourage every MP in this place to make sure they speak to and listen to people with terminal illnesses and their families.
It's a message Therese McLean echoes.
Open your hearts to the people who you serve. Do more listening than more talking. And this is a really tiny marginal group that's looking for this gift at the end of life. It will not change the fabric of society to grant choice to so few.
Kate McKenna, ABC News.